Good morning, and my name is Laura Joseph. I am the Senior Vice President and Provost at Farmingdale State College. Farmingdale really embraces the need for global learning for all. It's part of our mission. It supports the larger SUNY mission for the system, which also states that as a key component of a student's education. And COIL is really the perfect example of how you can equitably serve students through targeted, well-developed courses that span not only traditional disciplines, but institutional boundaries to gain perspective. And it's something that we've embraced and we're continuing to move forward. So in terms of what COIL provides for the institution, today's higher education landscape requires us to be forward thinking. We need to think about how students will be culturally aware once they graduate. We need to make sure that we prepare our students to be successful in work, in life, in global citizenship. And to do that, we need to create ways to engage students in these initiatives. So the institution finds that COIL does provide that avenue, that venue for us to connect our faculty and our students with the international environment. When we think about students in particular, they will gain multiple perspectives through their work in COIL. They'll gain global connections, and they'll work to address global challenges, because the way in which the courses could be established and developed can allow them to think critically about how to meet global challenges. So, like I said before, Farmingdale does value global learning for all, right? That's part of our mission. So, yes, we're working towards creating those kind of experiences for all of our students. And the type of student population that we have on our campus limits their ability to engage in study abroad programs where they can leave the United States and really interact with a different population, a different culture, understand global perspectives. So through COIL, you're able to connect students to this type of learning and prepare them, right, to be culturally aware graduates, students that can go into the workplace and bring this other perspective to their disciplines. At Farmingdale, students that do engage in this work not only receive college credit for the course, but they can also engage in the development of a microcredential, where they can receive a microcredential around global and cultural awareness. This allows them to have it on their transcript, fully displayed, so not only do they graduate with their degree, but they have this additional expertise or skill set that they can share in the workplace. And then COIL also meets our graduation requirements for applied learning, and we built that into our infrastructure so that students can receive that type of credit as well. COIL allows our professors to refresh their courses, to think about their course content a little bit differently, and then use the interaction and use what they create to possibly build a study abroad experience beyond the course, right? And that would be a longer term goal for our institution, but something that I look forward to seeing happen. Those students that can engage in that will then be able to go and visit the site and see firsthand things that they've been working on throughout the semester. So it's exciting, I think, for a professor to engage in COIL and think about their course content from that global perspective. And we're also trying to build in an incentive program, right, that can incentivize the development because it does take work. It counts towards their curriculum development for promotion and tenure. It counts towards their service component for their department.
You have connected COIL to rank and promotion. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So many institutions have a hard time figuring that out. So that's wonderful that you have been able to do that. It sounds like you're connecting COIL to specific classes. Is that correct? Or programs? And so are they embedded in the curriculum?
More elective are there. Some of the courses are general education courses, so students will have that option to choose to select a COIL course to meet the general education requirement in a particular area. More importantly, to make sure COIL has longevity at the institution, we needed to build an infrastructure that would support the quality of the experience, right? We want to make sure that the faculty that are engaged in this work understand its importance and work to instill, a quality experience for the students. So that infrastructure has been put in place. COIL courses are designated with a designation as being COIL and meeting that requirement. And then we needed to make sure that it was well communicated, right? That it's out there on our website, that people are aware that it exists, and that there's a budget that's attached to this. So we built in some funding through the Provost office to budget annually in support of the COIL initiative. So as long as that all stays in place, I'm confident that it will continue to grow, and the fruits of that labor will take heart in terms of establishing additional interest in COIL from others. So we're supporting the infrastructure in terms of the COIL coordinator. We also have advisory board. Members of the advisory board for COIL are faculty that are doing it and receiving service credit towards promotion and tenure, serving on the advisory board. And then there are stipends built in to the budget to support faculty who are interested in developing COIL courses. And then a little bit of stipend for members of the advisory board who agree to serve as a faculty mentor to these new faculty that are working towards the development of a course. So, lots of pieces to provide the necessary support so that we create a program, a course, microcredential piece of this that is meaningful and sustainable.
Wow. It really sounds like you have really considered all of the ways to have the infrastructure. And it also provides this opportunity for curriculum internationalization in a way through by doing this work, this hands-on experiential learning work. So that's great.
I'm proud of the fact that we have some faculty who are champions in this space. They have a passion for this because as provost, you're pulled in multiple directions, right? And you can't do this alone. You really need to have buy-in from some key faculty that are committed to moving this initiative forward and working to get the word out to the campus, providing workshops, different types of programming so that people become aware. And I'm really proud of our faculty for the work that they have done to advance this initiative for the college. Mhm. The faculty that we have engaged in this initiative do come with an international background. They have those experiences. They come with the desire to instill this type of learning in their students. So they have that internal innate passion for it. In terms of engaging others with this type of interest, Farmingdale right now, we are in a position where our faculty are coming from various backgrounds. Our institution is a majority minority student population, and they already come with this cultural awareness that they want to share. And engaging our adjuncts, engaging our new faculty, and those that are at that post tenure period, right? Looking to refresh, do something new. How can we work with them to excite them about this initiative? And we've been successful through communication at governance, communication through our faculty center, workshops, programs. We have brought in our COIL partners from courses that have been successful so that faculty can hear firsthand how the course went, what the challenges were, the work involved, but then the rewards, and also hearing from students that have engaged in these type of classes where they can share their experience and the value that the COIL course has brought to themselves. Not necessarily alumni, but students who've completed courses, right? Who, we survey the students at the end of the course, and then those Farmingdale students that would like to speak about it at workshops and things, we've brought them in to do that firsthand. But as it grows, I'm sure finding out if COIL contributed to their success in the workforce would be key, in terms of bringing additional value to the COIL program.
So you mentioned that you sometimes bring partners from the other parts of the world. Tell me a little bit more about that. That's such a wonderful thing to do, sort of
Yeah,
celebration for everybody.
right, right. And we did do that. I want to say last year, was it? We had faculty that came from Mexico, and they they were excited to share what they're doing at their home institution and how they worked with our collaborative partner here. The two individuals presented a workshop for Farmingdale through our faculty center, and we're able to share those experiences. Again, challenges and wins, and where they felt that it can be further developed. But it was exciting to hear directly from the partners. So yeah, so this is our fairly new website that highlights what we're doing around COIL. We designed this logo, looking at way in which we can show that this is a global classroom, and it's something that students who engage in this will receive if they wish to pursue microcredential. The microcredential is similar to this logo, so they would have a badge that they could put on their LinkedIn page that reflects this logo. Our advisory board is listed here. You'll see that Eric DeSena, who is our study abroad manager, is part of the advisory board, which is important because this type of course can lead to a study abroad experience, short term following the class, and that's something that we're looking forward to doing in the future. We have representation from each of the schools. So you'll see arts and science represented, health science, school of business, school of engineering. So not only are we looking to develop COIL courses within general education, but we're also looking to develop COIL courses within discipline core content. So here's a little bit of an overview that was put together. And then this is really just a table that allows students to explore what does this mean? You know, what can they expect if they're engaged in a COIL course? And we can have a little click here.
So do you also find that your school is using this for admissions?
No, not yet. Something that we should be looking at. We have a new director for enrollment management and engagement, so I'm sure that this will be something that they will be looking at. We also have a new vice president for student affairs, so I'm sure this is something also that they would be looking at. But like I said, COIL courses have a designation on them. So if students go to register for it, they'll see COIL if they want to know what that means. This webpage will explain to them that it's two or more classes, collaborating, instructors from different institutions, you know, kind of gives a benefit breakdown for the student and the impact for Farmingdale.
So I noticed if we go back up the list of um, the schools that are noted in your advisory board.
Mhm.
So I'm assuming these are schools that are doing COIL and that see the benefits. So arts and science, health science, business, engineering, technology. That's really exciting.
So we do have a limited number of courses that are listed as COIL courses. So again, this is emerging. Infrastructure's been built, budget's in place, advisory council's here. We have the website. Now the push to start generating the development of more COIL type courses is underway. So the anticipation is that this will become more robust. The individuals that are serving on the review board, on the advisory board, are interested in COIL. So these are kind of like our faculty champions for each of the schools, and they will help to get the word out, help to support faculty that are interested in learning more, learning how to develop and how to engage in this work. The list of courses, if we click here, you'll see not many.
Hmm.
So we currently have a handful of courses, mostly at the general education level, which is good because that also allows students to check off a couple of boxes, right? They'd be able to meet some of the applied learning graduation requirement, meet a general education course need, and then also have the COIL component
Hmm.
in place.
Nice.
So, you know,
Wonderful.
growing. This is where we're going. This is the next push, right? Is to grow that repository of classes. And then here is our micro credential. Actually, there's two. This is the one I wanted to show you. So this would be the badging, global and cultural awareness. So students that are taking 6 credits, culturally focused courses, internationally global focus course, would get this badging and have the micro credential added to them. These micro credentials then stack into degree programs. So if people wanted to take it independent of being a Farmingdale student in a degree program, if they're external to Farmingdale, taking courses as nometrics. They can begin to move into a degree program through this gateway, and then have this added to their LinkedIn page, have this micro credential on a transcript that can maybe help them in their workplace. Let's go back to here. This is, global learning COIL in particular. And you'll see complete two COIL designated courses, and you can see if they can complete one COIL designated course at Farmingdale, complete a level 2 second semester foreign language taken at Farmingdale, complete one. These are different ways to achieve this global learning COIL micro credential. And as we build out the number of courses that are COIL designated, we're anticipating that this micro credential will take hold. This is more for students who are at Farmingdale as opposed to those that are coming in from a non-matriculated pathway. And then students who complete this global learning COIL microcredential will receive a green honors cord, COIL cord that they'll be able to wear at graduation. So that's just an added incentive, and will help to get the word out in terms of the importance of global learning and the number of students that have engaged in this.
Oh, that's so nice. That's
Mhm.
wonderful. Um, have you seen students wear the cord already at graduation?
No, this is all
Oh,
very
it's all
new.
new.
All
Uh-huh.
very new. We just purchased it. We designed the coil cord, and the anticipation is that this would be in place for next year. Mhm.
Nice. Yay. All right.
Mhm.
That's wonderful. Okay. Well, thank you so much, Laura Joseph. It's been a real pleasure. And thank you so much for doing this with me today. I'm really excited, and I feel that Farmingdale has just created such a strong infrastructure to make sure that it will stick around. And it's beautiful to see. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens, right, as this
Yeah.
continues to grow and is nurtured. And I think that's part of it too, right? We need to make sure that it's nurtured, because with all the demands that administrators face, especially now in these trying times, it's easy for things to fall off and move down on the priority list. So keeping them in focus and knowing how they can impact students' lives, and can help institutions continue to grow in terms of their enrollment, engagement of faculty, and so forth. It it's necessary. So.
Yeah.